Hello and welcome, Cosmic Quantum Travelers. I wanted to do a quick update today because there's a lot going on. I'm not going to be online a lot. I need to really take a few steps back. We might be experiencing very heavy energies, not even heavy, it's more intense. We're clearing a lot of heavy density for sure, but there are a lot of light body upgrades, DNA upgrades that are happening and crystalline grid upgrades that I've also been writing about. So please also have a look at my other posts and articles, especially ever since November. I also did a few YouTube videos that will give you a good overview of the many layers and the different things that I've seen happening and I was guided to share. Obviously, there's a lot more. This is, as always, my perspective. So take what resonates and leave the rest. And I'm just guided to share a few things because a big message that's coming in right now is that the higher ascended master levels are coming in right now. So this is really even beyond our avatar self, our Christ consciousness self. It's our pre-meta consciousness levels. So as we have opened up these massive multidimensional, interdimensional Stargate systems, and have been working on reclaiming and amplifying and purifying the grid system, so clearing the old and then activating the new grid system, as this also reflects within our own inner bodies. For example, the nervous system, the central nervous system is basically the micro of the planetary grid system. So as this receives upgrade, we are also receiving upgrades. And as that happens, you know, eventually we will feel very soon much calmer and more balanced, which generally we already do. But as these powerful upgrades happen, we can feel a lot of, or underlying anxiety. And also this depends always, obviously, on each person, individual journey, where they're at, their own template. So it's never the same for everyone. But anything that needs to be cleared is being cleared. That's what we definitely are all experiencing. And at the same time, massive upgrades are coming in. And the big message is that we have to reclaim our timeline. Okay, we did not come here to sit and wait for this to happen, for any president or galactics to come down and rescue and save us. Okay, we are them, we are all one, and we are the ones who carry very sacred and important ascension keys and codes that make all of this happen. Most of this is all down to us clearing our programs, clearing our blueprints. So it doesn't matter what you do, whether you serve in a restaurant, whether you do what I do, whether you work in a bank, don't do anything, whatever it is. The work we all have in common, the mission is clearing our template. As that clears and our light bodies activate, so it does for the planet and the whole collective. Now, of course, each person still has to do their own work, but we hold the true history records and blueprints for the divine creatrix, for humanity, for the planet and beyond, because this is really a cosmic undertaking. So we might be looking at Earth, but actually this is so way beyond just Earth, because we are affecting all the other levels. We have the galactic DNA of these master races within us, and as we clear and heal and activate, they are also being affected, and vice versa, and they are our higher aspects. So if we want anyone to come, it's us activating our higher selves, merging with our multidimensional selves, and then this might activate. This is how I see it, at least, as in we activate all of these new realities, new free technology, galactic support, all from within. Okay, so this is where our power lies. And it also lies in us understanding that we came here as the co-creators to remember our responsibility and accountability as co-creators. So we don't just focus on all these different predictions that several different sources are giving us, but rather drop into timelessness, because this is truly multidimensionality. We have to become timeless. We have to let go of all these circles within circles within circles of time. It keeps you in the 3D matrix, because as we transcend that and go 5D and beyond, time and space is totally different, totally transcended. So we then, because what I'm seeing is where we are going to very soon is a one True Organic Ascension reality, which is really one consciousness experience, and you do not have the division as in time as we do anymore. Now, in order to reclaim the golden timelines, reactivate these keys and codes within, we have Edenic, golden timeline codes, paradise codes within us that we carry, however you want to call them. And they activate within us. We carry the blueprint to these realities within. And as the old DNA and all this artificial material clears, the light body can heal and the DNA can activate. And this is really where we get the instruction sets that come from within of what the new reality really looks like. And what I'm seeing is that we have the opportunity until the 21st, the solstice activation, to really anchor in this golden timeline by now, bullseye, what do we want to create, and withdraw our attention, our sacred life force energy from these fallen timelines. It's not real. It doesn't matter how dramatic it is, and there's drama within the drama. So even if we're not interested in the 3D drama, what's in the MSM, we have another version of drama within the spiritual community, which would be the intergalactic wars and so forth. Now, that is all still part of a fallen timeline that's actually not real. Plus, we don't even know of all the different history versions that are out there, what's real and what's not. Now, I believe a lot of what we think is real, right, wrong, one way or another way, is going to totally fall apart right now. Because the alt realities are based on all data, false histories, okay, inserted memories, inserted holographic inserts. And if we want new realities, this is basically equals a new consciousness. It equals new information. It equals new memories that are arising from within now as all of this unlocks and activates. And that means new realities. So you need to have new data and new memories and new consciousness. That's the shift in a time-space coordinate that I'm speaking of. It's literally a paradigm shift within a consciousness of totally changing our view, how we view things. So as we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And it really, really is true. That's the quantum effect. So let's drop into timelessness. Remember, we create with every word, thought, belief system, which are programs, every action, all of that together, the frequency we hold, all of that creates, okay, our deep-seated belief system. So you might say, you know, whatever affirmations and so forth, but if you don't really feel it within that truth, it's likely not going to manifest. So the law of attraction is very real. It's as simple as that. It's not easy, but this is really where it all boils back down to. And we need to remember the basics, okay? So whatever we feed our attention to grows, you know, where our attention goes, our energy flows. Whatever we resist persists, and thoughts create things, you know, thoughts matter, they create matter. That's just the way it is. Now, of course, it's not just about, as I said, it's about a purity of frequency. It can really just manifest if you don't have any other conflicting thought forms, beliefs running within your system. And the thing is, most of the time, we don't know that we even have them, okay? For example, about abundance. People who are born into wealthy families have very good chances of being wealthy for the rest of their lives because they have programs running, belief systems that are based in wealth and wealth accumulation. They are very confident about acquiring wealth. And of course, once you have wealth, it's more easy to accumulate it. The same as someone being born into a poor environment, they have very good chances of being poor for the rest of their lives. Of course, it's not always the case, but just generally, they have certain belief systems running, certain programming, and it's very hard to overcome that. And of course, we have a lot of other programming running that constantly is telling us we're not good enough, don't do enough, all these different spells around money and how it comes about. And there's a lot clearing there. So there's definitely happening something on the abundance level, really big, even if we might feel a bit squeezed right now. But the Stargate systems opening up as well, and the sacred Krystal Heart activations and the crystal core activations are all part of this. This is It's part of the abundance. And the truth coming out, disclosure, is really equal to freedom. Truth equals freedom. It equals wealth and abundance, and it equals health. It's all interconnected. And it's already happening. And I think we can all feel the immensity and the massiveness of what is building up. And it feels pretty darn imminent. And whatever may happen or not happen over the next couple of weeks, especially, so leading up to the solstice, let that not deter you to be fully focused on new earth realities, because that's what we're here now to leap into. Okay, and that's what I'm bringing to you through my sharings, through my transmissions, through the group activations that I'm doing. So there's one on the 12/12 and one on the 21st for the solstice. So I will leave the details also underneath for you if you're interested in that. So we have the 12/12 activation, which will be focusing on reclaiming our ascended master self and golden timeline. So really, our guardian self is coming in now, which is the 12, which is the 13, 14, 15 dimensional level of our higher identity. So pre-meta. And it's really the ascended master level that's coming in now, because we came here as the guardians, and these levels are only just really available now. So we are here to merge with that consciousness, because we are the guardians walking upon this earth. And we came here to remember and anchor this into this physical reality. As we are remembering who we are, why we came here, activating our gifts and abilities, these new realities come online. And that's where our power lies. And these activations are helping us do this, accelerate it, amplify. I know how powerful they've been from the feedback of people, from knowing myself, of all the changes and quantum leaps that have happened. And there's another one then for the solstice, which will another focus on the golden timeline event, because that's really what I see as a date where it's the end of any artificial timelines and interference. Now, that's what's possible. Okay, we create this. If you want to believe and feed your energy to the forecasts that keep going on for years and years, fine. But ultimately, you're feeding false timelines. Okay, and I'm saying this because I also need to communicate that I carry the correct time-space coordinates for the collective consciousness to leap into the golden one true organic ascension timelines, because I carry a master blueprint. So that's why I can anchor and access very high frequencies directly from source. So you are able to pick this up more easily. So I can just bring in a whole lot more frequency into the field. The more people I have within the group, the more frequency we can anchor. I can only anchor so much on my own. And I'm really doing already so much. I mean, I can't even, I'm really at a point now, I have to say, where I've lost weight. I'm literally anemic because I've just been working. I mean, it's literally an obsession, because I want to get the heck out of this artificial matrix. And I know we're stuck here as one. And I'm here to make this happen. I'm here to lead those that resonate with this message and want to make it happen and believe in this. And there's no such thing as false hope. Anyway, okay, when you understand that all of this is ultimately imagination, it doesn't matter how complicated you're trying to make it, okay, of how it all came about, ultimately it's still fake. And big message is, let that shit go. Doesn't matter what it is, just stop feeding it, okay? So we're not trying to fix an old reality. We're not talking about years of changes and fixing. What I'm seeing is a collective awakening. I've written about this before. I had a vision of basically humanity taking off the blindfolds. First, it's like a little bit, woo, you know, shocking, but they're actually okay, because we're here to hold a 0-point field, okay, for everyone, for this to go as smoothly and easily as possible with no psychological fallout, okay, without people going crazy. And then the sun is rising. So first the, you know, awakening, and then there is the sunrise to a new dawn that we are here to lead humanity towards. And we are basically here to anchor that vision and to activate it from within these realities, because we hold the realities within, okay? So you either let them, whoever that is, whether it's spiritual leaders or governments or health professionals tell you how long, what's going to happen when, or you go within and figure out, because ultimately, if God is the only one who knows, we need to connect to God, our own God self. That's what we're here for. The very strong divine union and environment energies coming in. This is what all of this is about. The 0 point field. It's really all synonymous. So we are really here to merge with God's source, and then we access the correct coordinates for each one of us of what we are here to do at this time to bring this about. And most of that is, I mean, just drop away all the forecasts. Just, we know where we're going eventually. Focus on the end result. Everything else, you know, is up to God. Of course, we're not controlling this, but we can aim the arrow, and the rest is up to the wind, which is God. So we do our best. And what is that? By thinking and feeling it's already done. Okay. What does New Earth look like? What does it feel like? Go there very often. Think all of your dreams have already come true, because this is not a time for big karma to play out. I know we've been saying this a little while, but it is now. I really see before Christmas, there's big, huge shifts. I'm 99.999% certain of that. And of course, ultimately, nobody really knows what's going to happen. I'm not, you know, I can't tell you, even I can't see past the 21st. I just see really we have this huge chance right now. And that's why I'm focusing on really all of my energy and time, and have done for the last many weeks, of bringing this about, doing my part. You know, we're all doing this together. So, but this is my part that I'm playing here. I'm giving you these transmissions and activations that are within what I'm speaking here. So we've been receiving many nervous system upgrades, grid upgrades. They basically cause anxiety. I was posting earlier on today a little track that helps balance the nervous system. Also, tunes for the heart are very good, because the huge heart openings, they also cause a lot of anxiety. So we've had a lot of clearing as well of, you know, again, deep-seated traumas and wounds, things we've been to before. So again, a little bit deeper to understand a little bit more. And also, even when we understand things, we still have to clear them energetically. Okay. And one thing here about the 0 point, it's not about just being totally neutral, not being affected by anything. No, it's about integrating all perspective, all viewpoints, the polarities, without any more friction and conflict between the polarities. So they get integrated. We never get rid of polarities, because once you create one thing, you create the opposite. But it's about having the third energy, which is God's source consciousness, which is the neutral observer point, which unifies them both as a truth, but it chooses the highest truth in any one moment. Okay. So it's not as if you don't have an opinion, or you don't speak your truth when it's needed, especially now, very, very, very important. Okay. Speak your truth. Open up that throat chakra, open. And because it's just so important, when we do this more and more, all these other people will also do it more and more. Be the change you want to see in the world. Okay. So I'm sure there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't even remember what I was talking about because there's so many clearings going on. It's so often, you know, that you like your thoughts hop, or you just can't think linearly. Like you can really feel it's becoming so multidimensional. When I go into the field as well, before it was more linear. Now it's just quantum, just jump. And I know my higher self in the quantum space is doing this in the right sequence, because the thing is, even though I carry the true coordinates, I'm not fully consciously aware of them all yet in detail. But I know, as we are all remembering more and more and more. So we need to share and, you know, activate as much as we can, also for more to come in, and divine right timing, it will happen. And I'm also getting the message, we're not supposed to know really what's going to happen, because we would just kind of mess it up, you know, like also us not knowing gives us also a strategic advantage, okay? Because things just come on in the now, and it's totally quantum. So a big themes right now, full embodiment, okay? Bring all of your multidimensional self in. Obviously, all of this goes in layers, but I'm also talking a lot to the people who are doing this for a few years. So really now integrating, merging, focus on grounding, focus on being present in your body, doing body work, physical movement, eat grounding foods, because it's with all these high frequencies and our multidimensional merge happening, you can feel very ungrounded. Okay, so it takes a lot to do that. Meditate, clear your energy field as all of this AI machinery and materials are releasing from our and the planetary body, and we are obviously doing a lot of the hard work on behalf of others. Oh yeah, that was like the wounds coming up. So I mean, you know, it was for me the same. And then another level of not feeling as supported, and also other people not really doing their part. You know, I mean, people like me really like working so freaking much. I cannot do anymore. I need to really stop now, because I need to also be the walking example of really taking really, really good care right now of myself. And I need more support, quite frankly. So, and I want to thank the people at this stage that do support me, especially with donations, because this is literally the only income I have. This is what I do 24/7, and I cannot offer any private sessions right now. I just do not have the energy and time. I cannot do more. I need to do less. We need to balance out the scales. Okay. So I really hope those people who have not been doing their work as much, or have kind of let a little bit go on their missions, got a bit distracted, that they are going to pick up now. And everybody really needs to pick up their own stuff right now, because we also need to just let go. And obviously we're not doing it for other people, but we're all one. We really are. And people who a lot of doing the transmutational work like me, it's not really a choice. It's just what our bodies, our blueprint came in here to do. We just carry a lot of the, so I call it shit shifting, you know, all this nonsense and density. I mean, years of this, of heavy lifting. It's not been fun, but we're getting there. So thank you everybody for supporting me and for being here now and just doing the hard work, sticking with it. Don't give up. Hold the frequency, hold the vision. This is what we came for. We make this happen. Don't wait for someone to tell you when what is going to happen. Tune in yourself, okay? And just manifest it outside of time and space. And it will just happen when it's supposed to. But just let go of these time frameries as much as you can. Although I'm doing these activations on the 12th, 12th, and 21st, which I was laughing. It's like, okay, yeah, you know, because I don't usually do these dates as much, but this time apparently I am. Serves me right. So just one thing. So today I saw a huge rose grid activations within the grids. I mean, there's so much happening in the grids and activating and ancient portals and gateways. And I just wanted to read that part out, what that really means with the roses turning up on the grids. And I took this from Ascension Glossary. Now, I just want to state, although I share a lot from Ascension Glossary, it's simply because it's the best source I know of sharing some more details about what really goes on within our light bodies and these different activations, to bring a little bit more knowledge to the people. And she, quite frankly, you know, has it already written up much better than I can kind of verbalize it, you see? So, but it doesn't mean that I agree with everything she writes. So please, as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. So I just wanted to read out that little paragraph about the sacred crystal heart and why it is so important. So basically, our sacred crystal heart on the earth is birthing new configuration grids for crystalline lotus heart flowers on the inner vertical channels and within a planetary grid system. The crystal lotus heart flowers are replacing the artificial intelligence machinery links into the phantom areas and replacing obsolete functions of the 3D chakra systems. There are 0-point energy portals that existed on other dimensional systems and circulate higher spiritual consciousness energy throughout the diagonal grid networks. So it's really helping bringing in those tri-wave 0-point field energies and clearing out the artificial machinery, bi-wave, you know, also with the help of the Mother Arc. That's really a big theme right now, clearing out all these AI material and machinery, technology, psychotronic weapons, scalar weapons, all that stuff. So it's all going down, just like the net has gone down, and also the artificial, we are disconnecting from the artificial telepathic net and reconnecting to God source consciousness and the organic creatrix field, okay, where we will as awakening happens, remember again that we are here all creating this together as one. Because just to reiterate that, I had a vision of, you know, the thing with the Wizard of Oz and the curtain opening, and then it's the man behind the curtain that you know, basically does everything, organizes or creates everything. Well, in my vision, behind that curtain, it's all of us, and just like, hey, because ultimately it's the one consciousness that has always created. It's just that we've been so fragmented and split and separated that we have created all together, not in alignment with the law of one. Okay, and we all have fallen aspects, so we can all point a finger at these evil people, but ultimately they are showing us aspects within the consciousness that we also hold parts of, and that we came here to purify and correct. That's what we do with the inner work. Okay, so even if we get rid of the evil people, we will always need to check in our consciousness, because all these entities and beings, they're literally negative thought forms that have manifested into form. Obviously there's more to it, but that's really what it is. We need to purify the consciousness, and also a pure heart leads to pure blood. And this all leads to the pure realities, because, you know, our blood holds our genetics, and, you know, it's our life force. So, and as that also heals and balances, it clears out all the imbalances, it harmonizes, it clears out the parasites. All this is clearing massively from all levels, planetary levels, you know, the grid systems, the tunnels and all of that, as well as our own grid system, our own blood, cellular level, deep cellular clearings. I mean, there's so many levels. I'm not going to speak today too much on it. As I said, so much I've already shared, okay, plenty of. So please go back for the last few weeks if you want to know. So powerful plasma light body and DNA activations merging with our antimatter and multidimensional self, our God self. This is where we're at now. Full at one-ment unification, one heart, one body, one mind as humanity, as the collective. That's what we're merging back into. And we are the ones to bring this here. The more of us do this, the stronger the field becomes. It overrides all our frequencies, okay? All these mind control, because there's still a lot of interference going on. Of course, the little minions that are still running around, they are still trying all they can to throw us off course, okay? Like voices in your head. Look up targeted individual. I've had this for years. It takes years to get on top of this stuff, okay? Ultimately, you need to clear out your field for it to become invincible. And it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of hard work to get this right. But ultimately, it's clearing out all your distortions within the field, all negative thought forms, belief systems, programs that you have running, because they are making you susceptible to all of that stuff. And then obviously you have the energetic layers and soul retrieval and clearing all this shit out. So, I mean, obviously my activations are helping with that as well, because they are also meant as ascension booster sessions where you really get an all around purification, harmonization, upgrade, activation to your whole morphogenetic field on all levels, quantum style. And then on Sunday, I really felt so much love and literally tears from the love I felt for all of creation. I mean, these waves keep coming in, these huge heart openings, bliss, oxytocin, DMT release, you know, all of this is happening right now. So major heart openings, much heart healing and opening. And this is also helping us to gain more self-love, more confidence. We're really coming back into our power now. Also with the Allura activations have helped to clear up a lot of energy around the solar plexus, activating our Ra center, whole new golden layer of protection around our energy field. We also have plasma bubbles around us. We have really so much protection and also support from the higher dimensions. And as I said, galactics, because they're all able to come in now, the angelics. It's like the last couple of weeks especially. It's like, whoa, the multidimensional gateways are wide open. Okay, so merge with that. We're here to merge with that consciousness and anchor it onto this field. This is how we access the galactic timelines now, our golden timelines with full, you know, galactic citizenship with no passports. So part of this also is obviously a lot of masculine, feminine energies balancing and healing of competition between the genders and gender wars. And it's also supported by the strong tri-wave frequency. So tri-wave is really the Trinity. It's the 0 point field. It's the divine union. It's the, divine masculine, feminine, divine inner child. It's really all synonymous, again, for me. That's how I understand it. And this is really healing everything, all imbalances, because that just clears out all these bipolar energies from the field and all the reversals and within our bodies. And again, all of us together, humanity, we make up the planetary body. That's also part of these crazy developments over the last 2 years that, if they attack the human body, they also attack the planetary body, just filling it with more AI. But we're doing great work in clearing this energetically, and more is coming through a total purification event. So just, don't lose hope. And I know there are so many negative, and I am not unaware, of what they are planning and the anti-humanistic agendas and turning us into little robots and basically hijacking us within a hijack with a type of metaverse, where we will not know anymore whether we are actually in a simulation or not, although we're already in a holographic, false reality. So it's not about not knowing that. It's just about, that's what they're planning. And then it's like, but what you going to do about it? Resisting is just going to feed it. Hating on it, it's going to feed it. Having fear of it, that's all what they want. If you laugh at it and you remember your power, that we have the power together to override this and create what we want to experience, guided by divine will, that's them done, which is already happening. It's just like, the waves are going out to the collective, and I'm helping anchor that message a little bit more, hopefully. So, as I said, huge purification of especially AI materials, toxins, inserts, implants, parasites, any and all attachments to the old 3D world, and these false matrices. And also the whole being powering up the Uluru and Stargate system and the grids, like really opened up and cleared, powering up this grid system. The crystalline core of Earth is pulsating, our hearts opening, pulsating, all interconnected. This is also helping clear out our meridians and nadis, because the ley lines are really our meridians. So, really beautiful what's happening. So huge purification, hence it's a little bit intense. And also the activations, there was also a lot of volcanic activity. Obviously, there was a lot of solar flares that we had around this solar eclipse just recently, with these powerful upgrades helping the grid activations and these timeline leaps and shifts that keep happening. And the thing is, although we don't see a lot of it, so much is happening on the background. And I really feel at one point, just the curtain lifts and it's just basically gone in your new reality. But obviously we're also, transitioning. But I think we haven't seen a lot of the things because it would just create too much chaos. There's a lot happening on a consciousness level, where if anyone has looked at this whole Project Looking Glass predictions, at one point in time, everybody just knows the truth, who did what, who is who. There's no more discussing it, because disclosure, the way I see it, is what arises from within, a true awakening of that we've created this all together. It's not about those bad people did this to us. That's just feeding more into victimizer consciousness games. Yes, they need to be held accountable, and basically they will disappear as we in the new timeline. So, it's just keep focusing on the end goal and keep your eyes on the one True Organic Ascension Timeline. Everything will become very obvious now, like synchronicities, hugely increasing, clarity, hugely increasing, because all the negative frequency and interference is clearing out massively, very quickly now. Yeah, there was something else, can't remember again. So deep cellular clearing, crystallizations, we're cutting through any remaining imbalances, distortions, blocks, seals, all of that stuff. I mean, obviously, again, it's layer by layer and depending where everybody is at individually. But I also see that once the final event happens, it's like a domino effect throughout the human biological system at cellular level, a transformation that's going to happen. And that's really ascension. So there's been a lot of exhaustion and a lot of need for additional rest. So we really need to balance our energy. So a disclaimer at this time, I don't know if I said it at the beginning of the video or not. I cannot answer messages at the moment, emails, anything, unless I'm guided. I will be less online. I just really need to focus on this right now. And there's so much energy that goes into these events, into these activations of what I'm holding, and not to mention the work I do generally on the grids and the Stargate system. So there's just so much I can do. And right now, every message I open, it just sucks energy from me. And I just need to step away from technology as much as I can. It's just what it is. And it doesn't matter who it is. So I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. I just can't. I need to really manage my energy right now. So let me just double check whether there was anything else. So big message is relax, open mind wide to receive. Just keep tuning in to your future self, merge with your multidimensional self, future Earth. Know the false realities for what they are. Don't pay too much attention. If something is coming up, okay, just imagine a positive version of that. Reverse everything. No, laugh at it. I mean, if you can. Obviously, if you've been triggered by it, just work through it. Just try and transcend your fear, okay? And just try and remember that it is not false, that it's trying to be basically implanting that timeline within your consciousness by you reading it and by you being afraid, because fear is a very powerful manifester. And so is obviously love and joy, but that's why it's so important right now. Just relax, really focus on that multidimensional merging, let the outside illusion drop away, go deep, deep within and see and listen, and let it be revealed to you, the truth, okay? And we can only do this if we're really going within. And the more relaxed we can be, the better, the more happy, the more present, fully in body. So that's really the nurturing, self-nurturing, so important right now, okay? Because this is our light ship. And just be open to huge surprises from the universe. Just be in awe and wonder. Try to get out of the fear-mongering, okay? And imagine the worst. Imagine all the good things that could happen, everything that could go right, okay? Keep going there. Just when you go through some clearings, just know it for what it is, okay? The 0 point field is like, you just, you don't have any resistance to whatever you're feeling. You just let it be okay. And you keep just trying to transcend it, okay? And it's just being, it's like, let's say, you're fed up with the insanity that's going on. It's like, yes, of course, acknowledge that. Feel it, let it purge through you, but also know it's really just temporary, that doing this in order to get under your skin and to create more of these foreign timelines, because they need your consciousness, they need your DNA, they need your life force to do that. Withdraw all life support, please. So don't look away, don't try and suppress, just see it for what it is, know that it's not real, and then imagine the opposite of what you want to see, okay? And you can do that with anything. See people free, being themselves, remembering they're connected to their God, in body, connected to their soul, remembering who we are, where we came from, our true history. Imagine that, okay? Instead of more of this. Okay. So a big thing is also the throat chakra opening, as I mentioned earlier. So it's really important right now to speak our truth as much as we can, because if we don't, we will feel out of alignment. So it will become very apparent now when we're out of alignment. So it is good if we can speak as much truth, obviously depending in each situation. Yeah, we're not bulldozers. We don't try and convince or preach or convert anyone, okay? But we're here to speak our truth. And we should no longer be afraid to trigger other people or make them feel uncomfortable. Like I've noticed this in myself, where I'm holding back a little bit, just that last little bit, because I already gave them too much. And I mean, often, obviously, do it maybe in stages. You don't even need to shock them all. But as much truth as you can. And you feel it now, because it's more we do it, and also all these doctors and nurses hopefully will be able to speak up more and so forth. We have to be the change we want to see in the world. And also, not speaking our truth leads to disease. So, we need to also remember with everything that's going on, what I believe is that any type of illness, disease, is down to an inner unresolved conflict. And as we actually are ill, we're already resolving it. The body is self-healing. That's with the activated light body. Once it's fully activated, there's no illness. It's eternal life, no death. This all is not natural. It's all part of the fallen inverted system that need to self-consume. So as we establish our light body and do our homework, eternal life is ours. There's no more disease and no more illness. And obviously that's what we are trying to bring in here as the full potential for humanity. And speaking our truth is part of that, because the more authentic we can be in our own authenticity, okay, our own unique self, the more of our multidimensional self comes online, because that's what that actually is. And the more quantum, the more of our multidimensional essence we can embody in the physical. And that's the highest frequency we can carry, okay? Higher frequency, like holding the frequency, it's not that you can't have a moment of anger or whatever. It just means that you don't lose the focus, that you don't like end up in despair and give up on everything and throw it in a corner, just because it hasn't happened yet. So this is all about perseverance, faith, belief, and trust. And if you truly believe and trust yourself, it's the same as trusting and believing in God. And it's the same with knowing thyself, know thyself. When you really know thyself, you know yourself as God. So it's all the same. So that's why the deeper you go within and nurture that connection with source, and that comes natural. You don't need any activation program, teachings, nothing, okay, to connect with God's source. A child can do that. We do not need a middleman to connect to source. So this is what all of this is about. Know yourself as God again. And then you will have full confidence and trust in yourself. And you will not sell yourself short anymore, because this is now about us fully stepping in our power, reclaiming our golden timelines, reclaiming our power as co-creators, and not waiting for other people to do it for us. We are the ones. Remember. And every thought, word, feeling, belief system, every action adds to all of this. So what are you going to create now? Because this is pivotal time for us to wake up. If you want them to wake up, we need to wake up. And there's always more to wake up. You know why it's ridiculous for an awakened person to talk about being awakened? Because you just have different levels of dreaming. We're all asleep here to different levels, and we just keep waking up, waking up, waking up. And there's a moment now coming of total clarity where we will remember again why we came here and what we're here to do, who we are and our true history. And that's what's happening now. So we are the creators. Science proves this. Look at quantum mechanics and the observer effect. And if we withdraw our attention from something, it literally ceases to exist. And it's not about the others. Us star seeds are holding the codes here, okay? So we are the heart mind of the human body, and we came here to make this happen. So I hope you remember your responsibility and accountability as a conscious co-creator, because this is what all of this is about, all right? And not waiting for anyone to save us. And we're all here to do it together. So this is not about each one just doing this on your own and, struggling, no. But as we all remember together, all of this comes online now. So I hope you can join me in the activations. They're really powerful. They're very beneficial, also at a personal level. If you can, please support me with a donation. If what I share is supporting you, I could really need it. That would be really great. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here now and shining your light. Shine bright, stand tall. Let's make this happen whilst we relax and know it's already so. And of course, in the now moment, it will be known what we need to know and what we should do. Okay, so keep following your guidance, your inner calling. It's all of these things. Okay, knowing when to do, when to be, when to allow, when to give, when to take, all of this. This is the multidimensional merge. It's not one thing or the other. It's all of our multidimensional aspects integrated. I call it multidimensional personality in order, okay, and fully activated. And it's balancing all of these different aspects of ours. And they know each other and they're great friends, okay? So I hope this was helpful for you. Keep staying in your heart, whatever happens or doesn't happen. Remember, it's not even real. It really isn't. And our focus is activating, anchoring, and bringing into full manifestation the one True Organic Ascension timeline. It's already done. It's already anchored. It's already all happening, but we still keep making it happen as we walk our path. So thank you so much for your time, your attention, your love. Let's clear and collapse all these last false realities and artifacts and timelines and their cause and effect and manifestations now across all time and space. Quantum style. Isanakara yashayana yekira sukukuna taratea kikia tara satara sukuku. Ayanatara sekenata. Kia saka. Kanata. Thank you, thank you, thank you.